skits were made to, I don't know if insult is the right word, but they were made to, well, yeah, insult is the right word. What am I thinking? It was definitely not to be funny. And I was telling my mom this, that fortunately for Eric Bischoff, while they were airing these billionaire Ted skits and telling them come up with an original idea, irony of that was exactly what Bischoff was doing. He took the New Japan Pro Wrestling's storyline of the New World Order, and instead of everybody in New Japan feuding with each other in that, they just made, they just took people from WWF, made them, after signing them to contracts, they just put them in the NWO, and I think looking back at that, it was actually a pretty smart move on his part, because of the constant criticism of not being considered original in anything they did. Excuse me for a second. They actually end the episode right there in the Larry Bling Billionaire Ted skit. And I'm pretty sure Larry King Live was on a Turner network station. So I think that's why they did that. I don't know when they stopped, but I think it was apparent when they started to bring in Hall and then Nash, and then eventually 1, 2, 3 Kid showed up. I think it was apparent, and then Ted DiBiase, and then Virgil. I think it was pretty obvious that they needed to stop that, and if they did anything, and I mean anything like that, gotta be honest, I don't remember anything after that being like, that of either parody or a skit. So, really want to see what they did what they did in that realm to replace Billionaire Ted skits. They start off the next episode with the TV trivia skit. This time, this was the Billionaire Ted skit was a TV trivia thing. They showed clip of Bret Hart's training on the treadmill for his match at WrestleMania. They show how the 1, 2, 3 Kid and Hunter S. Helmsley were both going to be those two guys' opponents for that night. I'm going to air the music for the show. Okay, so first match was Shawn Michaels against the Kid. After missing a top rope leg drop, he gets up, does the Kid into a super kick, and loses. They have a parody of Goldust, I believe. Oh yeah, he was parodying Piper's Pit. Next, they do a segment hyping the Ultimate Warrior's return. And they even show how he beat Hogan for the heavyweight title at his first, not only his first shot at the title, but it was also his first WrestleMania. Also some other things. After that comes Hakushi versus Justin Hawk Bradshaw. For that, they show that Yokozuna's gonna go against The Undertaker next week on Raw, I believe. However, the main event of Raw next week, they're gonna go against Bret Owen Hart and Davey Boy Smith. Interesting stuff right there. I'm hoping for Hakushi's sake that all these Chinese things on his body, hoping that he could have just taken. Okay, if it was tattoos on his stomach and chest, hoping it was not tattoos on his face and forehead, because let me put it this way, I think it's a little not a little, it's very strange, and I just hope that he doesn't have to look at that on his face for the rest of his life. Justin Hawk Bradshaw, when he started out, he had a little stubble, a little facial hair, but long blonde hair, and he had Dirty Dutch Mantel as his manager. Called him Uncle Zeb, or Uncle Zebediah. And in the beginning of that, they had Roddy Piper on the phone. And Piper was talking about the Ultimate Warrior coming back. He would say, yes, who would he be facing? He said, I would say as president to take care of the WWF fans. And this match that I have made, match the Ultimate Warrior, I'm going to personally down to the next Raw, live in living color, and tell you his opponent. Because you ain't gonna believe it. Big boot to Hakushi at the end, and then the first ever clothesline from hell that I think he used. 2, 3. Finishes the match. And if there's one thing I am curious about is when they would use the branding iron. How did they use that without hurting the people in it? Because as I just saw, they literally branded the letters JB for Justin Bradshaw. And it was on Cushies is in between his bicep and his rotator cuff. I was wondering how they did that without hurting him. Or should I say, without making him burn? Yeah, that's a better word for it. Hart caught Triple H in midair with the trying to remember what you call this. There's two atomic drops. So that should be the front atomic drop. That you put the sharpshooter on him, made him submit. They ended the show with the TV trivia skit with Billionaire Ted. These were some interesting trivia questions they had put up. First one was Popkus Quotes. Which sports personality suspended from MLB tampering said the world has gotten along with Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy? I'm not going to say the third thing he said. He said, baseball can get along without me. I believe the real life answer was Pete Rose, but they said it was wrong and they said it was Billionaire Ted who said it. Which is not true to life. The next question was, who made the racial comment? As for blacks, well, most of them are not really black anyway. They are brown. Well, aren't they? It's very seldom you see a really black. And I think Billionaire Ted's answer was Michael Jackson. Did they even say that was right? Actually, they said it was funny. They said right again. What often married person said, Henry VIII didn't get divorced, just had his wives' heads chopped off when he got tired of them. A good way to get rid of a woman, no alimony. That was Billionaire Ted's answer. That was my buddy OJ. Yeah. It's the correct answer, Billionaire Ted. Then at one point they make, I think that was showed Billionaire Ted looked like he was handcuffed against the corner of the ropes of the ring. And it was WWF turnbuckles. So that was really a good video they put up. Really hilarious. But I don't know if anybody... I got a feeling the people that watch this... I got a feeling most of them didn't need them to do this skit anyway, because they already thought, for some reason, that WCW was beneath them, or was